If you keep replaying the worst day of your life in your head, this prayer is going to set you free. Stay until the end, because what I'm about to share has helped thousands of people finally let go of what's been holding them back for years. Today, we're talking about something that quietly destroys so many people from the inside. It's not a sickness you can see. It's not something you can point to and say, that's the problem. But it eats away at your peace every single day. We're talking about living trapped in the past, stuck in old mistakes, stuck in old pain, stuck replaying moments you can't change no matter how many times you go over them in your mind. By the end of this video, I'm going to walk you through a prayer that's helped so many people break free from this. But first, you need to understand exactly what this trap is doing to you, because you can't fight something you don't fully understand. Let me ask you something. How many times today did your mind drift back to something that already happened? Maybe it was a conversation that went wrong. Maybe it was a relationship that fell apart. Maybe it was a decision you made years ago that you still beat yourself up over. Maybe it's something someone did to you that you never got an apology for. And here's the thing about living in the past. It doesn't just visit you once in a while. For a lot of people, it lives with them. It sits in the back of their mind during the day. It shows up right before they fall asleep. It whispers to them every time something good happens, telling them they don't deserve it because of what happened before. This is one of the most painful ways to live because the past can't be changed. You can pray about your future. You can work toward your future. But the past is locked. It's done. And yet, so many of us spend our energy trying to fix something that's already finished, instead of using that same energy to build what's ahead of us. Think about what this does to a person over time. It steals your joy in the present moment because part of your mind is always somewhere else. It makes it hard to trust new people because you're still carrying wounds from old ones. It makes it hard to forgive yourself because you keep putting yourself on trial for something that already happened and can't be undone. It even affects your body. Stress from carrying old pain shows up as tiredness, as tension, as a heaviness that never really goes away no matter how much you sleep. And maybe the most painful part of all this is that being stuck in the past often comes from things you didn't even choose. Maybe you were hurt by someone you trusted. Maybe you went through a loss that changed everything. Maybe you made one mistake when you were younger and it's followed you around like a shadow ever since. None of that is fair. But here's what's also true. Staying stuck there isn't punishing the past. It's only punishing you, right now, today. So why does this happen? Why do we get stuck like this? Part of it is because our minds are wired to look for unfinished business. When something painful happens and it doesn't get resolved, your mind keeps going back to it, almost like it's trying to find an answer that isn't there. It's looking for closure. It's looking for a different ending. But some things in life don't come with a different ending. Some things just have to be released, not solved. There's also something deeper happening here, and it has to do with guilt and shame. Guilt says, I did something bad. Shame says, I am something bad. And a lot of people who are stuck in the past aren't just remembering what happened. They've let what happened become who they think they are. They believe the mistake they made defines them. They believe the pain that happened to them is now a permanent part of their identity. This is one of the heaviest things a person can carry, because it's not just a memory anymore. It becomes a label they put on themselves every single day. This is where prayer becomes so powerful, because prayer isn't about pretending the past didn't happen. It's not about forcing yourself to forget. It's about handing it over to something bigger than your own strength. On your own, trying to just move on rarely works, because willpower alone can't heal a wound like this. You need something deeper than willpower. You need surrender. You need to actually let go, not just decide to stop thinking about it, because deciding alone doesn't erase years of pain. Think about carrying a heavy bag for miles and miles. At some point, your arms get so tired you can barely lift it anymore. That's what carrying your past feels like after years of holding on to it. Prayer is the moment you finally set that bag down. Not because the bag disappeared, but because you chose to stop carrying something that was never meant to be carried alone. A lot of people think forgiveness means saying what happened was okay. It doesn't mean that. Forgiving the past, even forgiving yourself, doesn't mean the pain didn't matter or that what happened was right. It means you're choosing to stop letting it control you. You're choosing your peace over your pain. And that's not weakness. That takes more strength than holding on ever did. There's a reason so many people who finally let go of their past describe it the same way. They say it felt like a weight lifted off their chest. They say they could finally breathe. They say colors looked brighter, food tasted better, sleep came easier. That's not an exaggeration. That's what happens when you're no longer using all your energy to hold something down that was never meant to be held. And here's something important to understand. Letting go of the past isn't a one-time event for most people. It's a process. Some days you'll feel free. Other days, an old memory will creep back in and try to pull you down again. That doesn't mean you failed. That means you're human. The goal isn't to never think about the past again. The goal is to stop letting it control how you feel about yourself today. This is exactly why prayer works so well for this. Prayer isn't a one-time fix either. It's something you come back to, again and again, every time the past tries to creep back in. Each time you pray about it, you're choosing release over regret one more time. And over time, those choices add up. The grip the past has on you gets weaker every single time you choose to hand it over, instead of carrying it yourself. So now, I want you to take a breath. Wherever you're watching this, whatever you're doing, just take one slow breath. And if you're ready, I want you to pray this with me, right now, out loud if you can, or quietly in your heart if you can't. Say this with me. I bring my past before you right now. Every mistake I've made, every wound I've carried, every moment I wish I could change but can't. I lay it all down. I'm tired of carrying this. I'm tired of replaying what's already over. I'm tired of letting yesterday control how I feel today. So right now, I let it go. I release the guilt that's been sitting on my chest. I release the shame that's been telling me I'm not good enough because of what happened. I forgive myself for what I did. I forgive the people who hurt me, not because what they did was okay, but because I refuse to let their actions control my future any longer. I choose freedom over the chains of my past. I choose peace over pain. I choose to walk forward, even if my hands are shaking, even if I'm scared, because I know holding on to what's behind me will never get me to where I'm meant to be. Today, I close that door. Today, I start fresh. Not because the past didn't happen, but because I refuse to let it write the rest of my story. Take a moment after that. Let it sit with you. You don't have to feel perfectly fine right away. Healing doesn't work like flipping a switch, but something shifts the moment you choose to actually let go instead of just wishing you could. Here's what I want you to remember from today. Your past does not get to decide your worth. It does not get to decide your future. It already had its time, and that time is over. You are allowed to set it down. You are allowed to forgive yourself. You are allowed to stop punishing yourself for something that already happened and can't be changed no matter how many times you replay it. This isn't about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself. Every day you choose to release the past instead of carry it, you're building a life that isn't controlled by what happened before. You're choosing to live in today instead of staying stuck in yesterday. And that choice, made over and over, is what actually heals people. Not one perfect prayer, but a daily decision to keep letting go, even when old memories try to pull you back in. You've carried this long enough. You don't have to carry it for the rest of your life. If this prayer helped you even a little, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.